Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. I'm Mr. Twister WX and welcome back to another forecast video. In this forecast video, I'm going to be focusing on a local forecast, so I'm going to go over the winter storm threat later this week for portions of central, eastern, and northeastern Colorado, where we could be seeing up to, honestly, 7 inches of snow in some of these areas south of the Denver metro. But before we do get started, it is important to note that for much of the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and even parts of, I guess we could say, northern Dixie, we have winter weather advisories because we have a winter storm moving in, and then we have winter storm warnings in portions of Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, and Massachusetts. So be sure to watch out for weather conditions in those areas. I will be going over that in another forecast, hopefully, but for now we're going to get into the Denver metro stuff. So if we go over to the National Weather Service forecast office in Denver and Boulder, you can see we currently have high wind warnings, winter weather advisories, and hazardous weather outlooks. So taking a look at our winter weather advisory, first we'll start with Douglas and Elbert counties. Give this just a second to load. You can see that we have snow expected, total snow accumulations between 2 and 7 inches, with the highest amounts expected in the southern foothills and Palmer Divide. So the southern Front Range foothills, the Denver metro, and the Palmer Divide. So this is going to be from midnight Tuesday through late Wednesday evening, so 6 p.m. So travel could be very difficult. The hazardous conditions will impact the Wednesday morning commute, with potential for slick roads to persist into the evening commute as well. So this means that slick roads are going to make travel difficult. You could see some delays or closures with work or school, so definitely be sure to stay up to date with those school closures. Wouldn't get my hopes up for a school closure unless you're south of the metro, then maybe. Otherwise, maybe just some delays, but nonetheless, do be aware of those road conditions. If we look at the winter weather advisory, this is from the National Weather Service in Cheyenne, Wyoming, for the Sierra Madre range and the Snowy range. Total snow accumulations between 5 and 10 inches, winds gusting as high as 50 miles per hour. So that's from 5 a.m. Tuesday until 11 a.m. Wednesday, so that's going to be a little bit earlier. But outdoor recreation could become dangerous to those caught unprepared for hazardous winter conditions. Hunters, hikers, and snowmobilers may become disoriented and lost due to low visibility and falling and blowing snow. So if you're driving in that blowing snow, blizzard conditions can occur fast with those winds. All it takes is an inch of snow and 30-mile-an-hour winds. So be careful in those areas when you are driving. Avoid travel unless necessary. But now we're going to get into some models looking at the snow totals in the Denver metro. DFS model for precipitation. So we're going to look throughout the next day or two or so. So you can see that winter storm is going to move in with that area of low pressure. And then we're going to see those winter weather conditions from southern Colorado up into southern Wyoming. So those heavier snow totals, again, are expected in Jefferson, Douglas, Elbert, and even El Paso counties near the Palmer Divide. So then that's going to move through, and if we are looking ahead, it's looking like next week we're going to see a winter storm in the mountains. It's a bit too far out to tell, so take this with a grain of salt. But then if we go even further out, it's looking like next Thursday, December 11th, we could be looking at something. Once again, these are just signals that could be pointing at something. We don't really want to take this seriously yet. But now we're going to move on to the Canadian model for our 10-to-1 snow liquid ratio for total snowfall. So you can see this is right now we have some winter weather in Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri bringing an inch or two of snow. But focusing on us, if we go forward just a little bit, there's that winter storm that's going to move in. So this is early tomorrow, or excuse me, Wednesday morning, Tuesday overnight into Wednesday. You can see we have 4 inches of snow in central Douglas County, along with west central Adams County and then northwestern Elbert County, but that heaviest snow total is going to be near the Palmer Divide on the Teller County and El Paso County border. So that storm is going to continue, and Douglas County is looking around 5 inches according to the Canadian by the end of this storm. And then if we move on to the NAM 3K for our snow, which the NAM is either spot on or not so accurate with winter storms, so this is really hit or miss. Right now it's only showing about 3 inches in the areas where we're expecting our heaviest totals right now when things are said and done, so I would take that one with a grain of salt. But then I also want to look at the HRRR. If you don't know what these models mean, they're just different models from around the world that we use to look at our different thermodynamics and just what we are seeing with these winter storms. So the HRRR is showing only about 2 inches, kind of like the NAM. So the HRRR and the NAM are in agreement, and then the GFS and the Canadian are also in agreement, which is pretty typical with winter storms when we are this far out, just about a day or two. So that is what we were looking at in terms of our models. Okay, so now last but not least, we are going to take a look at our Climate Weather Prediction Center. So this is valid for the entire month of December 2025. This was issued yesterday on November 30th. So this is our monthly temperature outlook. So this is taking averages from many years prior, the last 30 years, and averaging them out. So you can see our probability per chance down here. That's the key. And we are just about in that 33 to 40% chance of temperatures being above normal. Obviously, we just had that cold snap where we saw wind chills get down into the single digits, and our highs were up into the 20s and 30s. We were 50 hours sub-freezing, so that was pretty cold for the Denver metro area. But we are looking at an equal chance, relatively equal chance for average temperatures for the month of December, maybe slightly above average. Then if we move over to the precipitation map, we are in an equal chance. So it is really just up to the odds for how much precipitation we get this month. You can see just east of us in Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa, portions of Oklahoma and Texas as well. They are at a 33 to 40% chance of leaning below average. But then to the north in Montana and Wyoming, they are about a 50% chance of being above average for the precipitation. So it's really hard to tell right now based off of that, and we should take this with a grain of salt because every year is different. These are just averages. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of this video. Alright, so now we are going to take a look at what I think are the most probable likelihoods of the school districts in the Denver metro area seeing a snow day. Now, obviously, each school district makes their own decisions. I'm not a part of that, so it is really hard to tell what they're going to do. But based off the amount of snow and the anticipated road conditions, here are my guesses. Not every school district is on here, but a couple notable ones are. So for Jeffco Public Schools, I would say a 45 to 50% chance of a snow day. Douglas County School District, 55% chance. Littleton Public Schools, I put that at a 35 to 40% chance of a snow day. Denver Public Schools, a 20 to 40% chance of a snow day. Boulder Valley School District with the lowest estimate of 15 to 30%. And then Aurora Public Schools with 20 to 40% chance of a snow day. And I have noted on here that an 80% chance or higher means a snow day is very likely. So it's not very likely in any of these areas, but we could see some delays. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of this video. If you have any questions, please be sure to comment below. Be sure to like the video and consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.